A woman named Crystal is engaged to big back Darren, her live-in boyfriend of 12 years. Darren had cheated on Crystal before. Apparently, Crystal did something terrible in her previous life or just loves doing community service. Meanwhile, Carol is with her boyfriend Charles, who don't even got a car. Also, Carol got a huge booty. Charles says although he doesn't support marriage, he will be attending Crystal's big day. Damn! Even Tubi got black women in struggle love storylines. On the day before the wedding, Crystal shares with her best friend and maid of honor Carol her fear that Darren might cheat on her with a burrito again after they get married. Carol reminds her that she forgave him and he hasn't done anything again after that you know of. Later that night, Crystal, Carol, and their other girlfriends have fun with male strippers at Crystal's bachelorette party at Crystal's boutique store. Crystal and Carol might as well be single with how they acting, which I'm all for because they got dusty, ugly men back home. Meanwhile, Darren is playing cards with his guy friends, who call him crazy for wanting to be with one girl for the rest of his life. Darren praises Crystal for being amazing. Then Darren is shocked when his friends surprise him with female strippers. Crystal sends Carol to their house to get the rings. When Carol pulls up, she calls Crystal and informs her that there are no cars there and assumes that Darren has truly behaved. She quietly enters the house, and while looking for the rings, she catches Darren getting his lollipop from one of the strippers, which startles Darren. Later, Carol debates whether she should tell Crystal what she saw or not. On the day of the wedding, when the pastor asks if anyone wants to object, Carol moves as if she is about to, making Darren nervous. He is then relieved when Carol moves back, and Carol smirks, as if she's enjoying threatening Darren. Later, Carol tells Darren that she didn't tell Crystal what she saw because she loves her and doesn't want to break her heart. Darren apologizes, promises to never do it again, and begs her to never tell Crystal about it. Carol looks through the wedding photos and feels sour after seeing Darren. Meanwhile, Darren shares with his friend Dre that Carol caught him with one of the strippers. When Carol fetches Crystal from their house, she sees the expensive bag Darren bought her. Weaponizing the information she knows, she calls Darren and demands that he buy her the same purse he bought Crystal as a way to thank her for her silence. Crystal literally trying to grab that bag. Darren tells Dre that Carol asked for a purse. Dre says he thinks it's a fair exchange. A purse for saving their marriage. Why Darren look like he got a permanent black eye? After much thought, Darren buys Carol the same purse as Crystal. Soon, Crystal, together with Carol, shows Darren that she and Carol are twinning with their purses, not knowing that he bought Carol's. Darren later tells Dre that buying Carol the purse seems to be a good decision since it seems to have smoothened their relationship. When Dre tells him that if it was him, he would have broke Carol's back, Darren dismisses him, saying he's happily married. At the boutique, Crystal tells Carol that she and Darren frequently go on dates, saying Darren is taking her to a new restaurant later that night. After she shows her the new necklace he bought her, Darren arrives with the boxes Crystal asked for, and Crystal goes to look for the other stuff he failed to find. Carol uses this opportunity to once again demand that Darren buy her a necklace like Crystal's. When Darren confronts her that he thought that the purse was enough, Carol clarifies that she will keep quiet as long as he gives her whatever she wants. She also demands that he take her to dinner at the new restaurant he wants to bring Crystal to, but he refuses. Later that night, Crystal finds Darren staring into space, but he assures her that he's okay. As they're dining at the restaurant, Darren sees Carol walk in and sit a few tables behind Crystal, who is sitting across from the horrified Darren. Carol calls Darren, who then excuses himself, saying he needs to close a deal. Darren confronts Carol for stalking him and trying to ruin his night with his wife. Carol then expresses her annoyance and jealousy towards Crystal, calling her Little Miss Perfect, as she has always been the center of the universe since they were kids. She demands that he give her whatever he's going to get Crystal in the future. Damn, Carol crazy. Crystal finds them and jokingly asks Darren if he's cheating with her best friend, to which Carol laughs. When she asks Carol why she's there, Carol says she has started dating someone, and he's the one who got her purse. Darren tells Dre what happened, but Dre just laughs at him, thinking the entire thing is funny. He then advises Darren to just give Carol whatever she wants to keep Crystal happy. Darren meets with Carol to give her the necklace she wants and to demand that she stop blackmailing him and acting out in front of Crystal, especially because he had followed all her demands. Carol initially agrees, but before they part ways, she reclaims her power by demanding that he put the necklace around her neck, to which he complies. Does Carol want Darren's pearl necklace too? At the boutique, Crystal can't help but share with Carol that Darren knows her body so well that she explodes every time. The jealous Carol shows Crystal the necklace her man bought her, prompting Crystal to feel a bit off since she has the same necklace on. Carol then invites her and Darren to her game night later that evening. When Crystal gets home, she expresses to Darren her annoyance about Carol having the same stuff as her. Looking for an explanation on why they have the same things, She asks Darren if he saw Carol's stuff online or if he has been asking Carol for advice on what to give her, both of which he denies. Crystal brings Darren to Carol's house for her game night, but it turns out to be just the three of them because the others didn't show up. Later, when Darren suggests to the tipsy Crystal that they go home because it's getting late, Carol asks Crystal if she can borrow Darren because there are boxes she needs to move. Darren goes to Carol's bedroom looking for the boxes she needs help with, but Carol tells him that Crystal has shared with her that he's so good in bed and demands that he make her explode too. Two beautiful black women fighting over a diabetic-necked man is crazy. When he refuses, she blackmails him with a video of him and the stripper at the bachelor party. Left with no choice, he lets her ride him. He later returns to the car, where Crystal is asleep, and gets more consumed with guilt as he looks at her. Darren informs Dre about what happened and blames him for bringing the strippers to his bachelor party, saying it's his fault. Dre says it's not his fault that he can't control himself, and then suggests that since Carol seems thirsty, spending a couple of dollars on her might be enough to make her go away. At the boutique, Crystal shares with Carol that she wants to do an inexpensive surprise for Darren and wants to revisit how, in college, she used to decorate their college dorm with rose petals and candles, and they'd eat microwave pizzas. Before leaving, Carol suggests that she check Pinterest for ideas. Following Dre's suggestion, Darren takes out $20,000 in cash. When he arrives home, he feels happy upon seeing their bedroom decorated, thinking Crystal surprised him. To his horror, Carol appears and demands that he pleasures her again, but this time, on their bed, and exactly how he pleasures Crystal. Darren refuses and asks her to just leave with the money. Seeing Crystal pulling up across the road through the bedroom window, Carol blackmails Darren again, saying he either gives her what she wants or everything will be revealed. As she waits for him to decide, she removes her clothes and positions herself, ready to be eaten. As Darren eats her, Crystal enters the front door, startling Darren. Carol then demands that he let her finish. Crystal gets to the bedroom and finds Darren and Carol setting up the romantic surprise. Carol tells Crystal that Darren had the same idea as her, and he asked her to help him execute it, making Crystal so happy. Carol literally be the most trifling. Carol browses through properties and sends Darren a photo of a house right down the street from Crystal, which she asks him to buy for her. She later meets with Darren, who tells her that he'd rather confess to Crystal than buy her anything. When she threatens to show Crystal the video, he grabs her by the collar and tells her that he doesn't care if she does. Darren tells Dre that giving Carol money didn't work because she wants him. Left with no choice, he plans on confessing to Crystal and hopes she will forgive him. When Darren gets home, he finds a weeping Crystal with Carol. Assuming Carol already told her the truth, Darren starts feeling defeated, but he is surprised when Crystal smiles upon seeing him and informs him that she's pregnant. Darren and Carol later talk and agree that it's not the right time to tell Crystal the truth because she's been wanting to get pregnant for a while now, and the stress might cause her to lose the baby. 5 months later, Darren and Crystal are happily living their life as an expecting couple. Carol visits Crystal and informs her that she got knocked up by a married man. When Crystal points out how wrong that is, Carol tells her that he is a good provider and that his wife is not the one for him. As the two women hug, Carol flips her finger at the horrified Darren. Later, Carol reminds Darren that she protected Crystal from losing her baby, so he needs to do his part and give her the life she deserves. Feeling like he's left with no choice, Darren tells Dre that he'll have to kill Carol. The next day, Crystal checks Darren's phone and ends up getting upset. She goes straight to Carol, whom she informs that her gut feelings and the photos in his phone tell her that he's cheating on her, and asks Carol to help her find out the truth. Carol apologizes for supporting their marriage after believing that Darren is a changed man, and reminds her that she can leave him right away and file an annulment if she wants. Darren tells Dre that he has decided not to kill Carol because doing so will cause him to lose both his family and freedom. He later tells Carol that he'll buy her the house and pleasure her a few times a week in exchange for her silence. When Carol happily says she finally got Crystal's life, Darren reminds her that it's an arrangement, not love. Later, when Crystal asks Darren if he's cheating on her, he tells her everything. After Darren gives Carol the key to the house she wants, they both enter the house, and Carol happily imagines how they're going to decorate it. As she hugs him, Crystal appears and confronts her. Carol is then left with no room to make up stories. Carol reveals her jealousy to Crystal and then taunts her, prompting Crystal to throw the first punch. During the fight, Carol pulls out a gun, prompting Darren to jump in and intervene. The gun goes off, and Crystal loses her life. Damn, double homicide. When questioned, Carol tells the detectives that she shot Crystal and claims self-defense. Not wanting to be in prison, Darren backs up her claim, since they were both holding the gun. Damn, Darren is really dumb. 5 years later, Carol's daughter bonds with Dr. Carol tells the numb Darren that although she lied in the past about being pregnant, she's now ready to have a baby with him. Kinda confusing ending on who's the father of the girl, or if it might be Crystal's child. They seem to have left it open-ended, but she's for sure not Darren's? I don't know. What's the moral of the story? Never marry a type 2 diabetic man? What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.